I love a lighter pack, but I'm never going fully ultralight. And I'm not saying ultralight is wrong. This is just what I've learned from my own experience and why it's not right for me, and also not right for a lot of other people. If you're new here, hi everyone, I'm Justin, and welcome to the channel. Let's hit the trail. Here we talk about all things hiking and backpacking, especially backpacking, and we try to get you out on the trail with confidence. So if that's your kind of thing, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And today I want to explain my approach to gear, why I don't go ultralight, and what I do instead. Now first, ultralight of course has its place. It means less strain on your body, more miles with less effort, and just overall easier hiking. And after hiking the PCT and a couple of shorter through hikes, I get it. If you can carry less weight and still be safe, that's a win. And I should say, I do own and use some ultralight gear. I'm still trying to keep my pack light. I'm just not trying to hit some sub 10-pound base weight. Because at a certain point, you're not just cutting weight, you're cutting comfort, and that's really where I draw the line. For me, it comes down to this. I care more about comfort and the experience, not just shaving every ounce. The biggest example of this for me is sleep. When I started out, I was using a foam pad, kind of like this. This one's cut in half. To me, this is more of a supplemental pad, but a lot of ultralight backpackers still use a foam pad like this as their primary sleeping pad, and I have no idea how. Like, I can respect it, but I don't understand it. I quickly upgraded to a self-inflating pad. It was a Thermarest ProLite Plus, and that was definitely an improvement, but it was still 20 inches wide. My arms would hit the ground, and it wasn't that comfortable. After that, I finally moved on to a fully inflatable pad, but still just 20 inches wide, and my arms are really falling off of that, and anytime I'd roll over, I felt like I was gonna fall off the pad. And that's when it really clicked for me. I don't care if I'm saving a few ounces if I'm not sleeping well. Because if you don't sleep well, your entire trip can be worse. You're gonna be more tired, everything's just gonna be tougher, and it's just gonna be a less enjoyable experience. So for me, having a wider, more comfortable sleeping pad is well worth the extra weight. Right now, this Nemo Eclipse is my favorite pad. I'm taking this on all of my solo trips, and I think it's worth having a 25-inch wide pad, and I especially realized I prefer pads with vertical baffles. There's definitely a certain yellow ultralight pad, wide or 20 inches, that has a great warmth to weight ratio, but I just don't find it that comfortable, so having like a Nemo or a Big Agnes pad is my preference. By the way, this is not a gear video, but if you want to check out some of my favorite gear that I'm carrying this year, I'll leave links down in the description. Some of them are affiliate links that help out this channel, so much appreciated. Another big difference is how I think about camping. For some people, backpacking is like, wake up in the dark, be out before sunrise, hike all day, get to camp after it's dark, sleep, and then wake up and repeat. And if that's your thing, that's awesome. That's just not the way I like to backpack. I actually enjoy the camping part. That's actually one of my favorite parts about backpacking. I like to get to camp with some daylight left, take my time setting up, eat some dinner, watch the sunset, have a few sips of whiskey, and then go to bed. I don't like to hustle through the camping process and just get straight to sleep. That's just not my style. Hell, even on the PCT, we were crushing miles and still trying to get to camp with enough time to actually enjoy ourselves before going to bed. So even on a long through hike, you don't need to hike from sunrise to sunset. You can still get to camp at a reasonable hour. And yeah, sometimes I'll even bring a chair, usually just for one night trips, but it's nice to have, which I know is not very ultralight of me, but it's nice to have the seat at the end of a casual trip. And the same idea carries over to food and coffee. A lot of ultralighters out there like the cold soak. No stove, no fuel, super minimal. And I get it, it's lighter, but I just can't do that. I genuinely enjoy having a hot meal at the end of a day and a hot cup of coffee on a cold morning. That's part of the experience for me. And even when it comes to stoves, yeah, you can go super small and minimal. Look at this thing. It's tiny and it weighs nothing. I understand, but I'd much rather carry something that actually performs well. Something like this has terrible performance in the wind, It's much less stable and much less fuel efficient. I highly prefer pressure regulating stoves like a Pocket Rocket Deluxe or a Soto Windmaster. Because on longer trips, especially longer food carries in particular, efficiency matters. On the JMT and PCT, I had a couple of 7-day food carries, that's 6 nights. And with a pressure regulating stove, I was able to have a cup of coffee every morning and a hot meal at the end of a day. And I could do all of that off of one small fuel canister. Something like that tiny little stove isn't gonna make it. I'd have to carry a second canister or a bigger canister and end up carrying more weight. Kind of ironic, isn't it? But more importantly, I get hot coffee and a hot meal every day, and I'm not giving that up. Another one is warmth. And to be clear, I'm not talking about an ultralight setup in the middle of the summer with a 40-degree quilt and no extra layers. Yeah, of course it's gonna be easier to hit an ultralight sub 10-pound base weight in that environment, but generally speaking, for 3-season backpacking, a lot of ultralighters will sacrifice warmth in order to maintain a low base weight. I've seen some ultralight setups where people will just bring a light fleece. No puffy jacket or extra layers, because they just plan on hiking all day and then when they get to camp, getting straight into their quilt or their sleeping bag. And that works for some people, but I enjoy being warm, especially because I plan on spending a little extra time at camp. I like having base layers to sleep in, a puffy jacket. Sometimes I'll even bring a fleece to put underneath my puffy jacket for extra warmth. I like having some gloves. I like having a beanie. I like my warm layers. I've even heard some ultralighters say you don't need to bring a beanie if your jacket has a hood. And I'm like, the beanie's more comfortable and it's like a couple of ounces. I'm bringing the beanie. Then there's the cost side of things. Going fully ultralight can get expensive, fast. The lightest pack, the lightest tent, the lightest quilt. It's a quick way for your backpacking setup to end up costing $2,000 or $3,000. Now, I will say, if you're through hiking, it's probably worth the investment. Or if you're a super avid, hardcore backpacker and you're getting out there all the time, it makes sense to invest in your hobbies. But for most people, spending $600, $700, even $1,000 on a tent just to save some weight, that's a tough sell. Then there's the small little things like a pillow. A lot of ultralighters will just either use like a jacket or they'll shove some clothes into a stuff sack. And listen, I've tried this. It sucks. Having a nice pillow isn't a luxury item for me, it's an essential piece of gear. So for me, it comes down to this. I'm not trying to go ultralight, but I am trying to be comfortable while keeping my pack weight reasonably light. Because a good pack, even with a couple of extra pounds, is still going to carry really well. And in my experience, that added comfort is absolutely worth it. If you're gonna take anything away from this video, have it be this. Backpacking isn't just about carrying as little weight as possible, it's about enjoying your time out there. So I'm curious, where do you fall on this? Are you trying to carry as little weight as possible, or do you lean more towards the comfort side? Let me know in the comments, I'm curious to hear from you. And keep your eyes peeled for a video in the near future where I'm gonna discuss some super popular ultralight gear that I just don't understand. But that is going to do it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, all of that fun stuff. And until next time, I'll see you out on the trail. Cheers.